Alrighty, it looks like it is that time again, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Max Lucas, and I am the current presidential electee for PA DECA, and I am your host tonight for PA DECA's #Evolve competition prep series for the concluding episode of the series entitled Achieve. So, welcome everybody to the stream tonight. For those of you who have not been with us throughout the year, Evolve is PA DECA's innovative new competition prep series that aims to provide our association members with the tools they need to find success at the state level as well as the international career development level. And so with that in mind, we seek to provide you with the tools necessary to succeed at the highest level. Without further ado, I'm going to pass on to my co-host, Trayvon.
Hello, everyone. My name is Trayvon Bradshaw, your state vice president of communication. So, like Max said, I'm going to take over here and pretty much just go over all the episodes we have done so far with the #Evolve series and give a recap of tonight's episode titled Achieve. So first we did Ignite, which is our introductory video that pretty much the entire #Evolve competition series. Following that, we did Bright, which is just planning out your written events. So that was a great episode where we went over the executive summary, promotions, as well as the materials, as well as our presentation for written events. We did Pursue on test-taking strategies, and your incoming District 4 or 5 representative was on. His name is Tejas Wayne, and he shared his tips that got him first place at ICDC last year. Following that, we did Soar and Compose on how to excel in your individual and team role plays. Shine happened 3 weeks ago at our state conference. All of the PA DECA state officers want to apologize for that. Our Wi-Fi in the Hershey Lodge was malfunctioning, so we were not able to hold the chat for too long. It was literally a minute and 28 seconds we got done, and then it just crashed. So I do want to apologize for that, but we're back tonight with Achieve, which is helping our ICDC competitors make the stage and hopefully bring home some glass.
Absolutely. Thanks, Trayvon. So moving on, we're going to talk a little bit of housekeeping. Just a couple states announcements for those who are going to be returning next year, as well as those who are finishing up their PA DECA career. So PA DECA is not done for the year. There's a couple spring conferences for everyone to look forward to. Those conferences include the Sports and Entertainment Day with the Pittsburgh Pirates on May 5th, which will be an exciting opportunity this spring for everyone to get together with their DECA friends and learn a little bit about the sports and entertainment marketing world. So the other conference that'll be happening, and this is debatably a summer conference, but we've categorized it with our spring conference, is the Chapter Officer Summit in Hershey on June 20th through 22nd. It's a great opportunity for all incoming chapter officers to go and hone their skills. There's a bunch of workshops that happen. You get to interact with the state officers. You really get to learn a lot of stuff and really maximize your DECA experience. So I know personally, I'm very bummed out that States is over, and I really want to relive some of the great memories. Some of the ways that, if you're having a similar problem to me, you can deal with that are visiting our PA DECA YouTube channel. We actually have all 3 of the sessions online. You can watch all of them, as well as the fashion show. You can relive all your greatest DECA moments with your friends and show your family all your great successes. And as well as that, there's also a couple of blog posts and other informations available for those who are interested on the PA DECA website. You can check that out and get your fill of DECA while you are on a break. All right, so the other thing that I'm going to talk about is a little bit of what's going on at ICDC for those who are not competing. So the academies include Ignite, Elevate, Aspire, Empower, and Thrive. And each of those are individually tailored to different members' needs depending on their position. It helps the members make the most of their experience, and it helps them truly learn what they need to succeed at the highest level of DECA they can. And then finally, on behalf of all of PA DECA state officers, I would like to truly wish the best of luck to everyone that is competing at the international level. Go ahead and bring home some trophies for us.
All right, guys. So I'm going to be going over the topics that we're going to cover throughout this episode. So we pretty much formulated all this type of information, not only from PA DECA's finest ICDC competitors, but we also collected this information from our previous Evolve episodes that we felt we could carry over to this one. So we're going to be talking about how to master the test and really do well in that section, how to do well in your individual event, team event, and written events. So pretty much this whole thing is going to be about how you guys can make the best of your time from now until ICDC and pretty much just fine tune your skills and perfect them. Another addition to evolve this episode will be what you can do at ICDC while you have some downtime. So Max is going to go over some cool things that are in Anaheim that you guys can go see or participate in. Following that, we'll do some business vocab of the week that you guys can apply to your competitions at ICDC and can hopefully help you guys. And we're going to finish up with questions, which is always the most fun part of the entire series.
Absolutely. Thanks, Trayvon. So next, we're going to move on to mastering the DECA exam. So for those of you that were here when our wonderful incoming 4-5 rep Tejas was on to talk about some of his test-taking tips, I'm sure you're all experts in the test right now. But just as a quick overview, these are a couple things to think about when you're going into your test at ICDC. Remember, it's worth 1/3 of your overall score. So don't sweat it too much. You've got 2 role plays to pull it up. But if you kill it on the test, you have an advantage over everyone else. So study, 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 and be ready. Another thing to keep in mind, and this is a strategy that our friend Tejas recommended, was to assume that all answers are wrong until proven correct. When you're looking at a test, don't just assume the first answer you read is correct if it seems correct. Read all the answers and pick the ones that are wrong before you pick the one that is right. Make sure to take your time. If you take the test in 15 minutes, you're going to be in some pretty hot water. You're not going to do too well. Remember also, stay confident, stay calm. It's just a test. You've achieved so much already this year, and in reality, this test doesn't define your success. Your success is shown by being where you are today. And so another piece of advice that I truly believe is extremely helpful is take practice exams in transit. I would recommend downloading the DECA Compete app and doing about, 4 or 5 full practice exams on the flight. It's not like you're going to be able to do anything else besides that and homework. So take advantage of the time where you're trapped and doing nothing and become prepared for your DECA tests. Also, another thing that's very important, and I can't stress this enough, keep the test and the event in perspective. It's not the end of the world. The more calm you are going into it, the more success you're going to find. So next, I'm going to talk a little bit about individual events. So I urge all of you to soar through your event, alluding to our previous titled episode. I'm sorry, that was a bad joke, but still. So a couple pieces of advice that you should take to heart. Make sure to make as many props and a slideshow as you can. That includes a business card. Judges love props. They see a bajillion kids a day, and so you bring in something for them to hold, something for them to interact with while you're presenting, and bam, they will not forget you. Make sure that you bring something to put in the judge's hands. I guarantee you that'll improve your score. The other thing to keep in mind is that judges are people. They're people, and they're doing something that's relatively boring. So make sure to be personable and just relatable. Sit down, ask them how they're doing. Have a little bit of a conversation before you go into your pitch, because it's important for them to realize that you understand they're giving up a lot of time, and it really matters. And again, advice I gave you earlier, just keep it all in perspective. It's not like this is the end of the world, and the more calm you are about your event, the better you're going to do. Just keep it all in perspective.
All right, guys. So next, I'm going to pick up by talking about some team events, specifically the 3 C's of team success. So first is cohesive. Obviously, at this point, you already have your partner, and you've picked them for a reason. Now, in my experience, it's so important to be cohesive as a team and kind of pick up where your partner left off. So I did a team event last year. I was with my partner, David, and one reason why we were a good team was I understood a lot about him, and his communication style. So when he would run out of words to say or would kind of be tripped up on something, I'd know exactly when to step in and make it look very smooth and put together with the judge. And it all started with the introduction, right? So we went over, we had a nice smile on, we shook, and we always had one judge, but sometimes you might get two, and you want to be prepared for any situation you might be thrown at. So you wanted to make sure to give them a firm handshake, say hello, and like Max said, it's nice to have a little conversation before you get into it, just to make it easier transition for both you and just be a little personal about it. So definitely throughout your time from now until ICDC, work on being cohesive with your teammate. And it doesn't just have to be role plays. This could be, hanging out with this person and just becoming closer as a team. So next is content. So you're going to be preparing and writing things down about your role play. And one thing I find important is that both teammates know what you're going to say, everything that goes into what you wrote down. Why this is important is because let's say the judge wants to hear a question answered specifically by one of you, but the other doesn't have the answer. You know what I mean? So then you might be a little tripped up, and you want to make sure that you both understand the role play. And finally, conclusion. Just like you introduce yourself strong, you want to conclude the role play strong. Finish with a handshake, and you want to make a call to action. So just saying, I had a pleasure meeting with you, and I'd like to follow up with you next week or whenever in the near future to discuss specific implementation of my plans. That's just a good way to let them know that you're excited and that you're looking forward to the future.
Absolutely. So next, you're going to talk a little bit about written events and what goes into that.
Yes. So I'm going to reference our past episodes. So just want to tell you guys, continue to be bright. And, with the written events, you guys have already formulated what you're doing, 30 major events, and presented them at the state conference. Now it's all about practicing and fine-tuning what you have already created. Right? So whether you're doing a written event by yourself or with a teammate, you want to make sure to keep a positive attitude. You're going to be going up against hundreds of DECA members within each competition. So it's very important to keep that positive attitude and think, I'm going to be that one person to get up on stage, and you always want to have a goal in mind of where you want to reach for. I know that seems like a simple kind of tip, but it's something a lot of people don't do. They don't write down their goals. They don't even put it in their minds sometimes. They just say, I want to win. Well, what do you want to win? Do you want to win first place? Do you want to win second, third? Get very specific. And like we said in the past, keep the project perspective. It's just a project. This is just a competition. And you guys have already been named #Calified at our state conference. You're the best of the best coming from Pennsylvania. Make sure to practice and do Pennsylvania DECA proud.
Absolutely. So next, we're going to talk about a little bit more of the fun side of ICDC. So when you're in Anaheim, California, sure, you're going to be spending some time at the conference, but there's so much fun stuff to do. It would be a shame if you didn't get out and got to explore a little bit of the great state of California. So for those of you that don't know, there is a Disneyland resort as well as the Universal Hollywood Resort. Both of those parks will be available to DECA. We'll have even DECA exclusive Twilight parties where you can go and attend with your chapter and explore what the great what Anaheim has to offer. Another event you can get involved with that is a DECA sanctioned event is the DECA 5K. So make sure to sign up for that. It's $30. It's a great opportunity. You'll see Trayvon and myself there. Just make sure to try and keep a presidential pace. No, I'm kidding. You'll probably be faster than me. But for more details on parks and events, please reach out to your advisors. They're in charge of purchasing tickets and finding information with the tours. You can always reach out to Jerry DiGiovanni and just take advantage of all the opportunities out in Anaheim so you can have a great time and make some great memories.
All right, guys. So once again, we're back with Business Vocab of the Week. And the word I'm going to be going over is industry trend. So this is the direction in which a particular industry is moving. Okay. So just as quick sales in a particular industry may be increasing or decreasing. And why this word is so important is because when you're in your role play, your judge is going to be looking for some specific examples that you can bring up. And when researching these industries and the different trends that are going on, you guys can come up with real world examples that they can relate to. And we've been saying how you want to make that connection with your judge. And this is a perfect way because then you'll have like a realistic conversation. I know the time's limited, but make the best of it by using these examples through researching these different trends on these industries that complement your competition, specifically the KPIs that you might get while in your role plays. So overall, it just assists with the judge and help you lead into your next point and example towards your KPIs.
All right. So now is the bittersweet fun part of the presentation. It is the last question and answer session of the hashtag Evolve Competition Prep Series for the 2016-2017 DECA year. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Trayvon and myself. We'll be answering them for the next couple minutes. If anyone has any questions, just feel free to ask them.
All right. Max, well, I actually did get 7 questions that were sent in before. So we
Impressive.
some time. Why don't we just kind of go through them and see what we can come up with for each one? So let's
All
see.
right.
All right. So the first question is, how many role plays will we be doing at ICDC?
The answer to that question is each individual event will have 2 role plays. Each team event will have 1 singular role play. It is the same pattern as states. However, it is at the international scale. So it's pretty much what you've been through already.
And pretty much, Max, maybe you could back this up. I'm not sure. I know you've competed at ICDC. My advisor said they have to kind of narrow down the competition to a qualifying round. First, you'll do the first 2 role plays, and then you'll have to do an extra if you qualifying round.
All right. So if I want to go more in depth with that, each person is expected to compete in 2 role plays. It's likely you'll only compete in 2 role plays. That is not me being negative. It is just the reality of the situation. The 2 role play, if you're in an individual event, the 2 role plays will be likely spaced out through time. Make sure to show up at least an hour early for your role plays. That's correct, an hour early, because at ICDC the schedule is so packed and so fluent at the same time. It's important that you're there because you will be skipped, you will be missed, you will be disqualified so fast you don't know what happened to you. When you successfully make it on stage and place in your event, or place as a finalist, you'll be asked to compete in a second role play, or in a third role play. That third role play will be finalists only, and then they will the next day proceed to show winners and losers based off of those events. So, another thing to keep in mind is principal events will only be competing in 1 role play, as well as written events competing in 1 presentation. Any other questions, Trayvon?
Yes. So we actually have one that goes right with that last one, and it says how many people qualify in each event.
All right. I believe it fluctuates per event, but I want to say it's either 10 or 20. I think it's 10, but I could be mistaken. Don't quote me on that. I believe it's likely 10.
Yeah. So Max said he wasn't trying to be negative before when he said you might only be doing 2 role plays, which is very true. In each competition, there's a couple hundred people in each one. So you can obviously see the percentages, like 10 to 15 qualify, and there's hundreds of kids each. So please make sure to make the best of your time. And
But
what else we have here? Okay, so Max, we have some questions that are kind of a little more personal and more about the Evolve series rather than competition. So I'll
Absolutely.
let you. So first question, when will the Evolve series start again?
All right, so although we have not communicated much with the incoming officer team on the logistics of this, likely next year we'll be starting roughly early September, and the Evolve series will be coming back in a new, bold fashion. We'll be changing some things up, and we'll be providing information not only on competition, but also how to run your chapter and how to make the most of your DECA experience. It's going to be a great time. Hope to see all of the viewers come back, and we may even have some guest stars from previous years come back, have some great alumni members fill in if they can.
Awesome. So to go off of that, how often will the Evolve episodes take place?
It's likely that we will have a weekly episode instead of the bi-weekly pattern we had this year. However, I cannot give much detail on that. We still have to talk with all the committees and get approval. So it makes sense that we'll probably have one every week next year, but that'll be up to the team.
Awesome, Max. Okay, so now we have some questions just for me and you, Max. So
Wow. Fancy. All
we
right.
are so special tonight. I'm like over here. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
So, Max and Trayvon, what did you learn through hosting these episodes?
Ooh, what did I learn through hosting these episodes? So I truly believe I've harnessed my ability to speak and evolved my ideas as an individual through this opportunity. I think that because of the often and consistent workload that this provided me with, I was able to work on my not only internet hosting and teaching ability, but my cohesive teamwork and team presentations, especially with the wonderful Trayvon. How about you?
Sure. So with me, I think it's influenced my love for communication. I think it was so cool to put together these episodes, the different topics and segments we were going to talk about. Um, like Max said, I think it helped me with my speaking. Seeing as we did this like every other week, I kind of had to stay on my toes and make sure we made all our deadlines. So since I'm going to college, I feel pretty good about my work ethic and how I'm going to get stuff done. So I think Evolve's just brought me to a whole nother level.
Absolutely, I definitely can agree with that.
Alrighty. All right, we have one more question. So the question is, what are both of you looking forward to at ICDC?
Oh, Trayvon, you want to take this one first? I got to think for a second.
All right. uh, so I guess what I'm looking most forward to is, I guess, just having fun. You know, there's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be a lot of downtime between what I'm going to be doing at my academy. This year I'm doing an academy. I'm doing Aspire, which is for the graduating seniors. So it goes right along with this year's, what is it, national theme. Sorry, I went blank for a second. But it's Own Your Future, which is on preparing for college and career, which is exactly what this academy is for. So when I'm not doing that, I know my chapter, we're doing Warner Brothers studio tour. I know people want to go see the Hollywood sign. At the state conference, we had like a backdrop, pretty picture in front of it. Not just a not just a poster. I know some people want to go to the beach.
Yeah,
Honestly,
that's a thing my chapter has too. I don't see it, but I could see why you'd want to go to the beach.
yeah, honestly, I'm not a big fan of the beach just because I get super dirty with all the sand on me.
Same.
I mean, plus I gotta like wash my hair because of all the sand and stuff. But
Mm.
and that, I'm sure it'll be a great time. But hopefully, I gave you enough time, Max.
Yeah, absolutely. I wasn't sure what my answer was going to be. So I actually have a multiple part answer. So to me, ICDC is kind of like the dessert of DECA. Like you've got your appetizer, which is regionals in like the beginning of the year and getting to know everyone, and you're like, oh, this is cool. Oh, this is it's like the equivalent of like a house salad of DECA. And then you get to states, and it's like a crazy steak dinner. It's like, oh, this is really good. I don't know how you can top it. And then bam, ICDC comes, and it's just like a fondue chocolate cake situation. Like you're just so blown away. You're like, wow, I didn't expect it to be this good, but there's just nothing that could be this good. And so I guess the parts of that dessert that I'm looking forward to, the icing on the proverbial cake, would be seeing those that I worked with this year, as well as those that I'm going to work with in the next year. I'm really excited to get to spend some time with the incoming officer team, and well, those who will be there. I believe most of the team will be there, which is awesome. But I'm just looking forward to spending time with the team that has worked so hard to provide all of our PA DECA members the wonderful experience they've had this year. And I'm looking forward to getting to know the team that'll do an amazing job the next year. Also, I'm really excited to spend time with my chapter. A lot of these people really have been with me since the beginning of my DECA career, and it's going to be interesting to have one last ICDC with them before they graduate. But like as far as actual attractions I'm looking forward to, I know we're going to Disney for a day, and when I went to Disney in Orlando with DECA, that was a pretty good time. So I'm hoping that I get to have as much fun as I did last time.
Yes, that sounds great, Max. So now I want to ask any of the viewers now or in the future a question. And you guys can submit the answers through the PA DECA Instagram or Twitter. Just send us the answer that way, or you can send it to me and Max personally. But I just want to know, what can we do to make Evolve better, more appealing to you next coming year? What did you like? What did you dislike? That kind of thing. Of course, I won't be here. I'm with outgoing officers, but Max will be here so he can make sure some of these. So if you guys have any ideas, please and DM us in our PA DECA Instagram or Twitter, or you can send it directly to me or Max at DECA Trayvon or DECA _Max Lucas. I've got the underscore in mind, but you guys get it. You know the
Absolutely. And so now comes the hard part of the entire series. It's the final farewell. So Trayvon, if you have any closing remarks, you can go ahead, and then I'll give like a minute each. Just say something. Put a bookmarker on the end of it, and just leave it there.
All right, guys. So this has been such a great experience. This entire year, honestly, as a state officer, I couldn't ask for more. So I just want to thank all of the viewers out there who've chosen to participate and watch the Evolve series. It means so much to me, more than you can imagine. I actually had a moment at the state conference. One of the members came up to me and she said, "Oh, you're Trayvon Bradshaw." I was like, "Oh, yeah, it's nice to meet you." And she was like, "Man, I love the #Evolve series and what you and Max are doing, and I had a great time." And what people don't realize is that as a state officer, you never know if what you have done was enough. But hearing that, I knew that what me and Max made an impact. And whether it was one person, 5 people, 10, 20, the whole association, I'm just so proud to be doing this. And for any of the future viewers of the Evolve series, I hope you enjoy. And I thank you.
Absolutely. I don't think I could have said it better myself. It's been truly an honor and a privilege to serve the PA DECA State Association this year. I'm lucky enough to be able to come back next year, but I want to thank all of the members of Pennsylvania DECA, especially the state officer team, for helping me become the person that I am today. I've had multiple role models on the team show me what it's like to truly be a successful person. And if I hadn't had the opportunity to work with the wonderful people that I did this year, I don't think I would be where I am. And so my challenge to you, the viewers of the hashtag Evolve series, and even if this gets through to one person, that's my goal. I don't know if you saw our first episode, but on our first episode, we had a hashtag that we came up with, just kind of a quick saying that we said, and that was stay fearless. So my challenge to you, as we bid you adieu one last time, is stay fearless and pursue what you want to pursue and evolve the field you will eventually be in. Thank you for your time, and I will see you next year.